Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Beatrice Ajayi. I'm an artist based in Glasgow in Scotland, and here on my YouTube channel I love to share my processes. I love to share the subject matters that I love to paint and create, and I also love to share what mediums I use to create all those different subjects. So welcome if this is your first time being here. Thank you for coming to join us. And if you're coming back again from before, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Thank you also to all my subscribers. We are really going for it this year so far, really increased in our numbers, and I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me, and welcome to today's studio art vlog, or art log, I should say. I've been trying to think of how to call these sessions that I'm sharing with you guys here on my channel, and I'm trying to show it as, I think, logging what it is that I'm doing in my studio practice. So that's what I've been calling it in the titles. So yeah, thank you for joining me once again. I am so excited for what is going on in this sketchbook session that I'm having in front of you. I have been, as I've been mentioning before, trying to get my realism closer, to a place that I feel more, what would the word be? I feel more satisfied with the results of the artwork that I'm creating. I have a vision in my head and I'm inching towards that. But here I just felt like I'd remembered a process that I'd done in the past, and I was so comfortable working with that process and adding the different elements to this page that it didn't make me think I should say overthink what I was doing, and there was just a flow of creativity that allowed for the work to come to life in a really interesting and exciting way. And so even after I finished this session that I'm sharing with you today, I jumped straight into another sketchbook and started working another piece, which you will see the next again Sunday. But I really love how this turned out. I was having to calculate a lot of things as I was working here. One of the things I had to look at was this beautiful flower that I put on the side here, this rose. I wanted to add more roses, but I had to be very careful with remembering that it's really good to introduce different sizes of similar objects on your painting, because it allows for like something that looks more natural and makes it more interesting as well. So I was also trying to decide, every time I look at a painting, I always want to add an animal or a portrait into the painting. So I was trying to think of what I was going to add today, and I thought, to make it simple for myself, because I really want to focus on the flowers as well, is to just make it a hummingbird just to the left there that you can see, and add some other little insects or creatures as well. But the main focus for this was my flowers and trying to get the hummingbird to a place where I was happy with it. But it is a block time of 1 hour spent in my sketchbook, using both pages, using the full spread of the page, and working away. And I was just so excited with the result. I can always come back and work on this some more from where I stop, but I just love the result for the time. And it's just the way that the flowers worked out for me. I'm so happy with them, because that is one of the things I've been pushing to try and perfect. I keep looking at the shapes, looking at my resources, and thinking there's got to be a way for my brain to actually understand what I'm looking at. And I feel like I'm slowly getting there, because what we see and what our hands do, it's not easy to always get that to work out. So I'm having to go through the motions, go through the process, and each stroke I do is helping me to understand what I need to do to get the specific shapes that I want. And that has just been exciting to play around with in this piece. Also, one other thing is, when sometimes we talk about style in our artwork as artists, and I had painted some paintings some years ago that I really loved the way that I scumbled with the brush across the surface with different colors, building the layers and giving some depth and interest. And I slowed down in this painting to try and do that, and I love the result of it, and I can't wait to do more of this in my upcoming work as well, because it's so exciting. I mean, just looking at the page, it's like I want to see what is beyond the hummingbird. I want to see what's beyond the flower. There's things going on, and I want to be part of it. And the theme, which I've always had for a long time in my head when it comes to flowers, is this idea of having of being in a meadow, of being somewhere just full of beautiful, rich flowers. So I'm still reaching for that vision I have in my head, and I will get there someday, hopefully. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. I think I mentioned some weeks ago about going to the dentist, and they did do the procedure, and I'm feeling a lot better, and I'll be back for another checkup in 6 weeks. So I am glad that that is over, and now I can focus on just painting and being cheerful about it, but also that I don't have to go back anytime soon. So I have no appointments within my time frame right now. All I can see is painting, so I'm very glad about that. So I've really enjoyed this painting, bringing back stylistic gestures of the way that I do my leaves, adding the leaves even as well. I mean, I think I attempted adding leaves one of the last times I was here on YouTube, but I decided to really start putting the texture side of things into play, and I love the effect that the leaves have of being scratched through to see what's behind them a little bit, the color behind, but also when they dry, that carved out texture you can see on the page is just so interesting as well for me. But I love it, and there's times where there were areas which weren't working. I would let them dry, and then I would come back to them. So it was just so much fun. I didn't want it to end, but an hour is a long time. It doesn't feel like it's long, but I'm remembering I was painting my portraits before the weeks that have gone past, and I didn't feel like I had enough time. So I'm really amazed at what I could create in an hour with this page. It's like a miracle to me, to be honest. But yeah, really enjoyed doing this, and I am looking forward to sharing some more. I also actually this week have been working on some other artwork, like a whole tiger series I've been trying to work on. So I might share that in one of the future vlogs as well. Once I start to understand what I want to do with the tigers, I'm really trying to get to a place where when I have a subject matter to paint, I want to be very free to paint it and to enjoy the process of painting it as well. I think that's the key for me at the moment, is to enjoy what I'm creating. And so my setup in my studio, I'm getting used to it more and more. I've got my my stand for my clip. What would I call this? It's like it's a hand for my phone, so that I can put it over this table like you can see now, and it is recording my motions. But I have different setups around the studio if I wanted to use the different spaces. Like I have the oil painting space, so if I want to use that, there's different ways I can record in that corner. And yeah, and then I have another space that I could technically be doing this acrylic painting, but this is a new desk that is a portable desk. You can fold it. It's a foldable desk, so you could put it away. If I wanted to, I could put it away, but I've been enjoying just being near my computer, being able to fiddle around with things that are maybe formal or that I need to work with online, and then being able to just reach over once maybe one layer has dried and put another layer on. So it's been exciting to do this, and I feel like this was a breakthrough for me on how I can move forward with my artwork. So in the background, I've still been sketching a lot of different subjects that I want to be able to introduce into my paintings. And just keeping the process going as many times as I can through the day. This flower here, the smaller one, For some reason, I didn't think it was gonna work. It's so interesting because sometimes when you're watching other artists' artwork, you can think, wow, I wonder where this is gonna go, because right now I can't really visualize what's happening. But that happens for the artist too, where sometimes the gestures and the marks they make need to take time to build. And sometimes you can think that you're not going to get there in the journey, but then you do. So, yeah, that flower ended up, the smaller one on the left, ended up a lot better than I thought it was going to. And then I had the smart idea to add these flowers towards the end. I think I'll come back and work on them a little bit more. But I just thought of them like daisies, and I really love those kind of flowers that have the tiny petals on them like that. So I'll probably come back and make sure I play with them a little bit more to get them to where I want them to be. I'm trying to be very persistent to get the final kind of visuals that I want. And that's what I've been pushing into, but I love the way it went. I added little bees, but I didn't bother pushing into those, just the hummingbird mainly and the flowers, and I love it. And so thank you so much for joining me this week. I encourage you to also get your sketchbook out if you are so inclined and paint something for yourself as well. And every day, like I'm doing, we get better at it the more we do. So that is what my approach is. But please do check out my shorts as well, and you can see what else I get up to there. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed as well, please do press that button there and subscribe as well. And then we can encourage more people to find my channel and to get inspired to create. So you go ahead and do that for yourself. Have the best week. And any other details will be in my description. So bye for now.